this morning you were able to talk to some military families here in Fayetteville, and hearing, them talk about some of the hardships and the sacrifices they've been going through. How did that affect you?
It can only move you. The thing I kept thinking is that most civilians, most American families have no idea. I mean, there's just been no focus throughout this war on the level of toll, the amount of toll that it's taking on families, whether it's from, the low salary range of service individuals to health care, the difficult time families are having who are trying to transition out of the military. There was even a story of the challenges that a couple faced trying to adopt, and how moving around, just made it almost impossible for them. So, these are the stories that that should be front and center as we think about war, not just this one, but the ones in the future. How do we ensure that the cost of war includes the support that these families and veterans are going to need before, during, and after, and for the years after, to ensure that they're as whole as they were when they started. So it was a very powerful time.
So in these 15 months of campaigning, have you learned anything new about your husband as he's been traveling the country and being in the public eye, increasingly more?
I am so proud of him, and I am more impressed with him now than I was before. I mean, there's just the way that he's handled himself. He's handled tough issues, maintained a level of dignity and grace throughout this period, has shown a toughness and a fortitude and a desire to really affect change. And he's built this amazing presidential organization that's raised more money than we've ever seen, has built a phenomenal grassroots organization, and has taken on one of the biggest political challengers in the party, and has done it by maintaining who he is. So I just think that his vision is the right one for the country, and even I was a bit of a skeptic as he entered his political career, but I've just seen him flourish. And I know that he's ready, and he's what the country needs right now.
And now the whole family's gotten involved. I hear that you had kids on the tour bus this week. What was that like?
Yeah. Well, we don't often pull the kids out of their schedule, but this past weekend was a light weekend for them, so they hung out with us. And, it's always fun because we can really center the activities around family, and that's really what this campaign is all about. I mean, the reason why Barack and I agreed to get into this is because of how much we want the future for our children to be bright and whole and unified, and we want to make sure that every child in this nation has the same advantages that our kids have, and that's not the case right now. So I think when we get the kids out, people are reminded that the reason why we're all in this as a nation is for the next generation, and it's always fun being able to eat hot dogs and a lot of junk food that you don't normally eat when kids aren't on the trail.
So, and you've been active in the campaign. What role would you want to play as First Lady?
There's so many issues that I care about. I mean, just even after today, being able to provide support and exposure to women and family and the issues that they face. I mean, it's not just military wives, although they bear an unusually difficult brunt, but women and families all around the country are struggling with the challenges that come with not having a safety net for insurance and not having adequate child care, people not having jobs that pay a living wage. I mean, many of these families are single parents, and their mothers and their women, and the toll that it's taking on us as women, and the impact that it's having on society. I want to be a voice for that, just to get those issues aired, but also to try to have some influence on how policy is shaped to change the face of how families are treated in this country.
And last question,
Yeah.
Tomorrow is a big day for voters in North Carolina. What is one last message you would like to leave with them before they go to the polls or choose not to?
We want people to go. I mean, the power that we have in this democracy is the power of the vote. And here in North Carolina, polls open very early. They open at 6:30, so we're encouraging people to vote before they go to work, just get it out of the way. And they stay open, I believe, until 7:30. So, people will have an opportunity, and if people get in early, they'll be able to come back and help others, maybe elderly people, folks in their family who couldn't get to the polls. And we want people to think about the possibilities. I think that Barack has a chance to fundamentally change the direction of this country in a better way, move us out of our divisions, and bring a new hope. And I want that so much for my kids. I want the next generation to see a different possibility of what America can be. And North Carolina is going to play a huge role in that. And we just hope that people act with courage and that they vote.
All right. Well, thank you, Mrs. Obama,
All
very
right.
much for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for taking the time.
Nice to meet you.